Good morning, everybody. I wanted to thank one of my subscribers, Half-Life Wife, for bringing this article to my attention. From the Lewiston Tribune, sea lion removal bill makes headway. House could vote on legislation next week. This came out June 23rd, and it is the 3rd of July. Okay, so I apologize for not getting this out sooner. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, so a sea lion bites down on a spring Chinook along the Columbian River near Bonneville Dam in early May. Legislation that would make it easier for fisheries managers to kill sea lions preying on salmon, which personally I think is a really bad idea. Okay, to blame sea lions on the collapse of the salmon population is wrong, okay? The salmon population has been decimated by the human hand and the geoengineering, the whatever's going on in the ocean, the everything. But anyway, so they're going to go ahead and blame it on the sea lions, and then they want to go out and kill the sea lions. Anyway, so that seems like their whole solution to what they see as a problem is just to commit murder. Okay, when we already know that we've had the collapse in the salmon population going on for years and years and years. Okay, so let's continue here. Okay, legislation that would make it easier for fisheries managers to kill sea lions preying on salmon. Do they not understand that it's not just sea lions that require salmon? Do they not understand that there's other prey out there to the salmon? Grizzly bears eat salmon. Big fish out there eat salmon. So they just want to go for the sea lions. And again, their solution to their made-up problem is to kill. Right? The salmon species collapsed a long time ago. So anyways, the U.S. House of Representatives is likely to vote on the Endangered Salmon and Fisheries Preservation Act sometime next week. Well, who's going to save all the sea lions? The Senate version of the bill, sponsored by Idaho Republican Jim Risch, picked up a key Democratic sponsor. Senator Maria Cantwell signed on to the legislation, making it a bipartisan effort. We've been begging to get some bipartisan support on it, said John Sandy, Chief of Staff for Risch, because where do we go if we don't? The two senators representing neighboring Northwest states are both engaged in the decades-long effort to recover threatened and endangered salmon steelhead. Okay, again, there are other reasons that the salmon is threatened, and I could name them all, from geoengineering to the collapse of the food chain in our oceans due to the poisons and due to a lot of things. Okay, they cannot simply pinpoint the sea lion as the main reason for the decline in salmon. The major decline in salmon was human-made. All right, I just wanted to clear that. I wanted to add that in. Okay, issued a news release Friday highlighting the need for the bill that has been amended from an earlier version. salmon consumption at Bonneville Dam is 5 times what it was 5 years ago, and threatened and endangered species of salmon are being damaged by sea lions in the Columbia River. No, these endangered species of salmon were not being damaged by the sea lions. Okay? Not. So, Cantwell called salmon central to our culture, our livelihoods, and our economy in the Pacific Northwest. Well, you know, central to our culture. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to just continue. Sea lions feasting on, they will be fasting soon. Sea lions feasting on salmon and other fish at places like Bonneville Dam on the Columbia River and Willamette Falls on the Willamette River have been identified as one of the many threats facing protected salmon and steelhead runs. One of many threats. It's the many threats that's the threat. Okay? It's not solely the sea lion. The sea lion is doing what the sea lion does. It eats. Okay? I personally, years ago, stopped eating salmon, even when it was not polluted. I gave up salmon for the sole purpose that I did not need it for survival. Okay? I can eat anything and survive. My survival skills don't rely on salmon, so I quit eating salmon when I found out just how much wildlife out there relies on salmon. So, again, to point the arrow at the sea lions is wrong. Alright. Okay, so on the Willamette River, fisheries managers from Oregon say sea lion predation could cause a winter steelhead run to go extinct. I think they're being a little dramatic and sensationalist on this. Okay? I know there's some other issues here going on, but this is not what we think it is. But nothing ever is what we think it is. The bills are supported by Oregon and the Columbia River Intertribal Fish Commission, and face opposition from animal rights groups like the Humane Society of the United States and the Animal Welfare Institute. Okay. The new version of the Senate bill introduced Thursday removes a provision that would have allowed Northwest states and American Indian tribes to be issued sea lion kill permits. Despicable. Without going through the full National Environmental Policy Act process. This sounds criminal to me. Very criminal. Like the House version, it would let the states of Idaho, Washington, and Oregon apply for permits to kill problem sea lions in the Columbia and Willamette rivers, as well as the other tributaries to the Columbia. The legislation also authorizes the tribes of the Columbia Basin, including the Nez Perce, I think I said that right, of Idaho, to get the permits. The states already have the ability to kill sea lions. Oh no. That prey on salmon. Okay. Have we all forgotten one thing about the salmon? Remember the farmed fishery, the farmed salmon fisheries? Well, years ago, those farmed salmon fisheries escaped into the ocean. So the farmed salmon is mixed in with the salmon in the ocean. Okay? I just wanted to add that in as well. Okay. So the states already have the ability to kill sea lions, murderers that prey on salmon, and steal new... This is unreal. Unbelievable. And steelhead near Bonneville Dam, an artificial bottleneck. But they say the permits from the National Marine Fisheries Service carry, oh my goodness, onerous rules that make it difficult to remove sea lions before they become established. I gotta see what that word means, I'm sorry. Onerous? Onerous. Okay. Involving an amount of effort and difficulty that is oppressively burdensome. Those kind of rules that make it difficult to remove sea lions before they become established. Sea lions are sheltered by the Marine Mammal Protection Act. In order to kill one, states must first document that an individual animal is a problem. Where have I read this before? Where have I read this? Oh, that's right, the Wildlife Services. This is how they work. Remember those 200 horses, I don't know, that were found dead in the mud in the desert? Those 200 horses did not die in the mud. Okay? It was a drought. It was a desert. No way possible for those wild horses, those 200 horses, to have gotten stuck up to their knees in mud. What really happened was the Navajos complained to the government about the wild horse problem. So, when you complain to your government about a wildlife problem, they call the Wildlife Services. And the Wildlife Services comes out and doesn't move the problem, they kill the problem, and then they cover it up. That was my cat. Okay. So, in order to kill one, states must first document that an individual animal is a problem, and that it's been subjected to hazing that hasn't worked. I don't know what hazing is. I mean, I do when it comes to college. Hazing. The imposition of strenuous, often humiliating tasks is part of a program of rigorous physical training and initiation. Humiliating and sometimes dangerous initiation rituals. Wow. Whoa. Humiliating and sometimes dangerous initiation rituals. Oh, that's the college. Okay, anyways. That hasn't worked. To do that, fisheries officials capture, brand, and then release sea lions so they can be identified. To land on a lethal remove list, the branded animals must be observed at Bonneville Dam for 5 days. Be observed eating a salmon and being documented to having been hazed. Once all that happens, the sea lions can then be euthanized if the agencies are able to recapture them. Man, this is a war on the wildlife. War on the wildlife. Under the bills of the House, in the House and Senate, they need to identify individual animals as being guilty of salmon predation is removed. Instead, any sea lion found more than 112 miles upstream from the mouth of the Columbia, about where the Interstate 205 bridge between Portland and Vancouver spans the river, could be captured and killed. It allows the states and tribes to cumulatively kill about 100 sea lions per year, which is roughly the number states can kill now. Researchers estimate there are about 250,000 to 275,000 California sea lions and about 71,000 Steller sea lions up and down the west coast of the United States and Canada. Few of those ever enter the Columbia. In years in which sea lions are abundant, as many as 120 a day can be counted at Bonneville Dam and dozens at Willamette Falls. Alright, thank you Half-Life Y for bringing this to my attention. This is definitely important information. On that note, everybody, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.